I got to say, I'm not even really a big fan of Stephen A. Smith, but he absolutely eviscerates Joyless Behar on probably what I would deem the worst broadcast in the history of broadcasts. The spew, the gaggle of menopausal airheads that somehow or another are still on the air, even though there's talks and murmurs that Joyless Behar and Worthless Whoopi's contracts are not being renewed for the next season. But first, so I'm going to share that with you. You got to see it. It's amazing. But first, just as I hit record for this video, two huge breaking news items just broke. Number one, the Panama Canal ports have just been sold to BlackRock amid Trump pressure. CK Hutchinson, a Hong Kong-based firm, has agreed to sell its stake in two major Panama Canal ports to BlackRock Inc.-led consortium. This deal is essentially amounting to $23 billion following the pressures from the Trump administration to reduce Chinese influence in critical trade routes. The ports in question, Balboa and Cristobal, which are kind of vital for global shipping. They handle like a really significant portion of the canal's traffic. I'm not a big fan of BlackRock, but getting it out of the hands of the Chinese, Trump's still playing four-dimensional chess. He is a genius, the art of the deal, the Trump effect. I mean, wait till you see this next item. So that's just one. The next item, this just in, my fellow Americans and global citizens, Nez Nation, the Arab Summit in Cairo rejects Palestinian displacement. Remember, Trump was saying he was going to build Gulf resorts. It was going to be like the Gaza Strip into the French Riviera. The Arab Summit now met in Cairo, and they reject this Palestinian displacement. And now they are unveiling a $53 billion investment plan to rebuild the Gaza Strip. The Trump effect. Just like what happened with Zelensky now caving in and crying, we want to make a deal, even though he acted like a petulant toddler in the Oval Office. You got Trudeau acting like a little whiny baby now. I mean, he has no leverage. This is called understanding, having that sort of sixth dimension, sixth sense, intuition. This is stuff it's intrinsic. You can't learn this stuff. You can only cultivate it and foster it, but you have to have the original sort of foundation, and Trump has it. He knows the power of America. He knows America's number one and should be number one. We have had 4 abysmal dark ages. This is huge breaking news. Absolutely huge. Let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to read them. Okay, I've got 2 clips to share with you. The first one, watch this. This is just so good. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen A. Smith. I really am not. In this first clip, this is really interesting. Stephen A. Smith challenges Worthless Whoopi, saying that, you brought up before about the message that the Democratic Party was disseminating, and she says the quiet part out loud, essentially admitting that Disney and ABC News is a platform to promote Democratic talking points. I know it's not surprising to you and me, but it's just interesting to hear them say it from the horse's mouth. Quite literally.
It's not about him winning. It was an indictment against the Democratic Party and what the Democratic Party was offering to American citizens. We might sit up there and talk about, hey, you should be a party for the working class, which the Democratic Party was once known for. They're not known for that right now. Why? Because their message was catering towards others and towards other issues, and they forgot about the people that brought them there, that elevated the Democratic Party to what it was over these last few decades. That's why they lost. He didn't win.
Well,
the Democrats
remind
lost.
people what those issues were.
Sure.
Let's remind people what those issues were.
We can do that.
Making sure that families had what they need, SNAP, making sure stuff is there, making sure that the America that we all grew up in, where you could come and be whoever you were supposed to be or want to be, you still have that right. All these things are the things that the Democrats have always said. But now we have a guy who says, yeah, I'm going to bring down the price of eggs. But first, I'm going to cut all these jobs, and I'm not going to see why they need to be cut. I'm just going to cut them. Because I'm going to put people in. Well, that's what he's doing. He's doing all
and alienate all our friends around the world.
But you're talking about what he's doing. But before you brought that up, you brought up the message that the Democratic Party was disseminating. I'm challenging you on that. That is not what they were doing. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the intent.
We did it.
I was here too. I was alive and breathing right here on the air.
It's just amazing, the lies. He's just cutting jobs. Yeah, he's just cutting them just for what? Just for kicks and giggles? The guy went through absolute hell. You tried to defraud him. You tried to debank him. You tried to smear him, decredit him, imprison him, indict him, assassinate him. And he's just going to get in there and be like, well, I'm just going to cut things just for kicks and giggles, just because it's fun. I mean, it's the absolute egregious lies that they propagate. But did you listen to at the end there? Oh, yeah, the Democrats Party did disseminate the message. We were here. We were doing it. That's what we did. That's what we were here for. Essentially admitting bold-faced, worthless whoopee. I think her bosses are going to probably right now, as we're speaking, her bosses are probably chewing her a new one. Saying the quiet part out loud, saying that The View, ABC, and all of these corporate propagandist networks that we have been touting for how long, Nez Nation? You know this. We've been saying this for a very, very long time. She just confirmed it. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo, get ready. I hope you got your popcorn, because this clip right here, it's like a romantic fragrance from a bygone time. It is delicioso. Watch as Joyless Behar hinges her entire argument about the mandate that we got on November 5th on this 0.1.5% differential. What mandate? What are you talking about? And watch as, again, not a fan of Stephen A. Smith. I'm not really a fan of him. I think he's a smooth, silver-tongued devil, to be honest with you. But this right here is one for, like, hang this in a museum. This clip is everything. Check it out.
Been in office for 6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever. And he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad.
Some people didn't
we should continue to do that. Don't continue to do it. Find a new strategy.
I mean, you got to give him props. He is absolutely on point. If this cringy video copy, lazy propaganda, TikTok, fake pseudo, influencer, coordination, architecture, whatever you want to call it. It was a debacle. I did a video on it earlier where, Schumer and Warren and all the Cyclops Booker, all the ridiculous Fetterman, they're all doing these videos saying that, oh, this is not the truth. I'll tell you the truth. And they're trying to be TikTok influencers holding microphones in their hand. I mean, it's I think this guy, I'm not even kidding. Okay, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Right now. Excuse me. I'm getting excited here. Hey, Nez, I got 2 words for you. Decaf. Hello. I really, really think that somebody like a Stephen A. Smith, maybe not him exactly, although he has talked about throwing his hand in the ring here. They need fresh blood. If they want any chance. I truly believe, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it. I truly believe, especially the way JD Vance has been carrying himself, I think he didn't really have a huge contingency of support after Trump picked him. He got a lot more after that debate with Tampon Tim. But really, I think he just keeps coming back and back. The sort of I don't care, Margaret, what he did with Martha Raddatz. And recently with Zelensky, taking it to Zelensky right in the Oval Office. He is one. I mean, this guy is like, this is a campaign for 2028. And right now, I see him. I don't see anybody touching JD Vance. He could pick anybody for VP, and I don't see any. I think it'd be kind of cool to see a JD Vance Vivek or maybe a JD Vance Tulsi Gabbard. Let me know what would be a good. I know it's going to be JD. Who should JD pick as his running mate? Let's just do this. Let me know in the comments down below. But my bold prediction: if the Democrats don't get fresh new blood, and I'm not talking Ghetto Crockett. Oh my Lord! And am I not talking Ghetto Crockett? Somebody like a Stephen A. Smith, somebody who is more moderate, somebody who's more centrist, somebody who's more common sense, somebody who is looking at what the Democrats have done in the last 12 of 16 years and says that stuff stinks. Doesn't stink, it stinks. And we need to start listening to our constituents. We need to start listening to Americans. No, we don't want men and women's sports. No, we're sick and tired of you guys invading our daughters' bathrooms. No, we're sick and tired of discriminatory hiring practices and DEI woke ideologies. No, we're sick of you guys giving puberty blockers to our kids way before the age of consent without knowing what the long-term healthcare ramifications are. You need somebody to go a little more central. Yeah, you can still have your pro-choice. You can still have all your other, sort of solid pillars of your party. But man, I mean, I truly believe if Stephen A. Smith or somebody like him puts his hat in the ring, I think he's got a great chance. If not in the top 10, he'll be in the top 4 or 5. Or let me say that backwards. If he's not in the top 4 or 5, he'll definitely be in the top 10. Because who are you going to go with? You're going to go with Chris Murphy? You're going to go with Shapiro? You're going to go with, who else is there? There's nobody. Tampon Tim, are you kidding me? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're looking to get your very own, this is the mission of our channel, to make common sense go viral. As much as Trump has done in the first 6 weeks of his presidency, DEI is not dead. Woke is not dead. It's not over. So we need to keep fighting because these guys aren't going to stop. Whoopi and Worthless Joy and Joyless Joy and the whole lot of them and the Joyless Reads of the world and the like, and all the publications and woke media, they're still not going to quit. So we need to fight. And so that's what our channel's mission is. If you want to get your very own 100% original design made in the USA, check out our new merch in our Nez Nation shop. The link is in the pinned comment, also in the description down below, or just go to professornez.com/merch. Also, don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter. This is sort of like your insurance policy, so you never miss out. That's also in the pinned comment. You just literally give us your best email, and bada boom, bada bing, you're in. You'll never miss out on the greatest, most exclusive, up-to-date, top current stories right to your inbox that the woke propagandist media won't share with you. We only share the best. And no, we don't share your email with anybody. We don't spam you. That is not the Nez Nation way. All you do, it takes 2 seconds. Give us your best email. Bada boom, bada bing. I can't wait to read your comments. If you love America, tap the thumbs up. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.